You are listening to Trophy Horse with your hosts, Tricky Mick, Alex, I Yield to No One,
Steve,
and Troy.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Trophy Horse. This is episode 392. I'm your host, Tricky Mick. Alongside with me, the man, the myth, the legend. He's Alex.
I can't believe we got two guests, and I'm the one you introduced first.
Well, because you're a regular host. We introduced the guest last.
Yeah, but I'm boring. Everyone hears me all the time. Introduce our guests first.
Well, we know you're boring.
That's just cynical, you know?
And speaking of compensatical, he brings the babble. It's longtime quitter of Trophy Horse, Donnie.
What up, dope people? How y'all doing out here in Whoreland?
And speaking of Whoreland, we're going down to South Carolina, where we have the man who likes to fuck with agendas, Daryl.
How'd you know that was me?
Because it tells me.
Did you see me do it? Or did you just...
No, I didn't see you do it, but I looked at the edits, and it says that Daryl changed this, Daryl changed that. And when we get to our topic of the week, apparently Daryl has something to do with erectile dysfunction.
What's funny is I was sitting in church waiting on them to get started with the service, and I got the email for the agenda tonight. And so I was like, oh, man, before everything gets started, I'm going to make a quick few edits. I hope you enjoyed it.
All right, speaking of, let's do the show. Let's do our trophies. I have not earned a trophy all week because I kind of like the way my stats all line up. I am still level 40, still at 10,000 trophies, and still at 120 platinums. Alex? Alex just stepped away from the microphone.
I hear him.
All right, Yield is level 28. Total trophies of 5,792 with 90 platinums. Steve is level 15. Total trophies of 2,157 with 11 platinums. Sid is level 38. Total trophies of 843 with 164 platinums. Daryl, the self-proclaimed trophy chump. What are your trophies?
Mine are loading, but I know I'm a level 39 I'm almost a level 40. Like, I'm like 39.94. But I've got 8,955 trophies with a platinum count of 149. That's right. 29 more platinums than Tricky.
Yeah, but you're still 1,000 trophies behind me.
Those trophies don't matter.
Dude, those...
Oh, Alex decided to come back to his microphone.
Oh, dude, I am 1,000 trophies behind you, but I'm not far from you, and it won't take me long to pass you. I've passed you every other way.
Well, you're not past me in level. You're not past me in total trophies.
Barely. That's all going to happen at the same time. Like, I'm about to pass you in
level. Okay,
I'll pass you in level tonight.
I've warned you...
I'll pass you in level tonight on the show. I will sit here and pop some plats.
I've warned you that you do not want to awaken the Kraken.
I've been saying for a while, you need to get with the program, Mr. Host of a trophy hunting show. I'm the trophy whore, but I like my nice and neat, tidy 10,000.
All right. Donnie, what are your trophies, sir?
I am level 31. Trophy count is 7,7421. I mean, 7424. I can't even say the whole word.
I thought you were about to break your tradition to say the whole number real.
Yeah, I know. Cause I was about to say it, didn't I? Remember, I don't do that. But my trophy count is 7424 negative 50, I think, and plat is 103 negative 1.
All right. Alex, what are your trophies, sir?
Well, in a shock, I actually have the agenda in front of me. Don't worry.
Yeah, I see you.
I'll be
I
sure
see
to
you logged
close
into
it after I'm done reading off my trophies. Level 31, total trophy count of 6,865 and a platinum count of 102 and 101 games. Damn, somebody putting zeros in front of all these thousands.
Well, the only reason I did that, and I'm like, it's just because I'm ADD and the fact that I like the agenda to line up, and now that I have 10,000, we needed to put zeros underneath the one. So,
well, okay, first of all, Daryl's line on the agenda is all jacked up because it says Trophy Master on it. So where's your ADD there?
That's driving me crazy right now. There you go. Fix that.
Also, Sid has 15 more trophies than you, Daryl, so how can you be called the Trophy Master?
Look, Sid just went into retirement for a while, bro. You can't hold the spot if you're on sabbatical.
Sid just earned a platinum this week.
Hey, he said he was taking a break, man, so somebody's got to take the mantle for him. I'm just trying to help out. Just trying to do my part.
All right. Sid, we're going to need a response to you because Daryl's trying to take your spot.
Look, you can't take Sid's spot, but what I can do in his absence is I can be the man. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody's got to do it. You're not doing it, Tricky. You're scared to break your 10,000 because you think it's so pretty.
It does look. You have to admit, it does look pretty.
I think it was pretty slick, man. I gotta say, I was listening to the show and you popped it all out that way. Whether you did it on purpose or not, it worked. It was pretty sweet.
I did plan it out to get my 120th platinum, and that would be my 10,000 trophy.
It's pretty sweet.
All right, so let's get into what we're playing. I'm very simple. The only thing I've been playing all week is Rock Band 4, trying to get us promoted. Daryl, we need to get you into that Rock Band.
Dude, I bought Guitar Hero. I didn't buy Rock Band.
And now the Guitar Hero is out of service because they canceled their service.
Isn't that crazy?
So go play Rock Band.
I probably should.
And the other game I've been playing is Division 2.
I noticed you haven't been playing any Joe Danger.
You know what? You're right. I did not start Joe Danger. I actually, after recording the show last week, I totally forgot about Joe Danger. I will be getting on some Joe Danger. Alex, what have you been playing, sir?
Well, to be honest, not a whole hell of a lot. After I finished What Remains of Edith Finch, which you incorrectly disputed that I got 100% in that, Tricky.
I verified on the show.
Yeah, I'm just calling you out once again. Haven't been playing much outside of Smash Brothers. I checked out the sales this week on the PSN, but quite frankly, nothing's really caught my eye. I am a little pissed, though, because Ashley and I bought the Handsome Collection for the Borderlands. I sound really ignorant right there. The Handsome Collection for the Borderlands. But we bought that maybe a month and a half ago, and now it's free for PlayStation Plus. Or going to be free starting Tuesday.
Did you open it yet?
Yeah, we already... Well, okay, we bought it digitally. And, we don't live in a world where you can return digital games.
Yes, I know. All right. Yield is not here. Steve's not here. Sid's not here. Daryl, what have you been playing?
I have been dabbling really hard in the world of PlayStation VR. I feel like
Finally got one, huh?
Yeah, like a few months ago I bought one. I'll be honest, I get really motion sick real easy, and I just wasn't sure if I'd be able to handle it. I'm a big freaking wuss. But I came across a real sweet deal on a PlayStation VR and a couple games. And I picked it up, and I basically just let my kids play it. We'll take turns passing the helmet and playing Job Simulator. But this past week, we were recording another episode of PG Spoilers, and we spent a few hours, me and the other two co-hosts. We were playing Five Nights at Freddy's. I picked that up last week because it came out, and my kids love Five Nights at Freddy's on their tablets. And so I put my wife in the headset this past Wednesday, and she doesn't play games, but man, dude, she was the jump scares in Five Nights at Freddy's, and just the creepy atmosphere and the music. It is so fantastic in VR. It is so well done. It was making my kids jump out of their skin. Man, it was awesome. I
doubt that.
It really was, man. So you can. I mean, I'm not saying this to be. I'm not talking junk. If you don't like being jump scared, or if you're scared easily, you know what I'm saying? It's definitely not for you. Like, there's some people who just they don't do well with that kind of stuff. But man, it's pretty good. So we did that Wednesday, and then we carried that over to Friday. I had some of the guys over to record, and we did some Five Nights at Freddy's. We did a little bit more Job Simulator. That's a very goofy and fun game. Again, passing the helmet around, And then we ended it with Batman Arkham VR, and that is fantastic. I'm a huge Batman fan, and I've enjoyed all the Arkham games.
Why?
Why what?
Why you a huge fan of Batman?
Because Batman is the greatest superhero of all time.
Wait, stop. We're trying to get through this because a little behind the scenes. After we record this, we're finally going to call out Alex on his bullshit of God of War. So we're doing another PG spoiler. So Donnie, let's try to keep the
Look, Batman is the greatest superhero of all time, and he could beat Kratos. So let's just go with that. Batman Arkham VR is really, really well done. And you start off Batman Arkham VR, you're standing on top of the GCPD, and naturally the first thing you want to do is look down the building. And I swear to you guys, I got a little twinge in my stomach. I was like, "Whoa!" For a second there,
that's a little nerve wracking right there.
It was wild, man. It was wild that you the VR is, we all know PlayStation VR is like entry level VR. You know what I'm saying? And it's still good enough to trick your brain. So, it was great, man. I'm just playing VR. I haven't. I've been super busy. I've been dabbling around in a lot of the spam games. The rat trash, as they call them. Playing a bunch of those hour-long platinums here and there just to keep my trophies going because I haven't been able to really spend time in big games lately. I picked up Days Gone, and I've played 6-7 hours in it, man. I haven't really got much else other than that.
Got the platinum.
It's a cool game so far. I like it. It's the writing could be better. They just, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I just don't feel like it's very. If I understand people like to cuss and do whatever, and it's post-apocalyptic, so I imagine you're always gonna be tense and but when you just roll F words into other F words, it's like F-F-F-ity F. What up, booze man? I'm just like, this is comically bad.
All right, just in the interest of time, let's move on. Donnie, what have you been playing?
I've been playing the God of War series, mainly the numbered versions 1, 2, and 3. This was before the announcement of the spoilers, and then now I'm actually playing right now as we talking God of War 4.
God of War PS4.
just to rehash some stuff, some memories for the spoilers.
Oh yeah.
All right. Playing anything else?
No, I just here and there, me and Lil Man play some. I kill him in some Mortal Kombat. Gets no freebies on my end.
Yeah, you don't play me in some Mortal Kombat. That's all I'm saying.
You know what? Didn't we hear that shit before? And was it Frosty who annihilated you?
Oh my gosh,
Frosty never
stepped
up to
on him.
Me and Frosty have never played. Every time I challenge him, he's scared.
You're scared of him. I don't even talk.
No, he's scared of me.
You're scared of him. You wouldn't even play me in Injustice.
You know what? You know what? Right now, Frosty. You name the time, you name the place, and I'll be there. And I'm going to put it on Twitch so everybody can watch me whip your ass.
This is like that time when the animal gets backed into a corner and they have to come out fighting.
You know what?
He's doing right now.
I'll even make it better. You know what? I'll even make it better. I'll let Frosty choose the character I play with.
Dude, I don't even think he has a PlayStation anymore. I think he sold that junk.
I know he did say he was going to sell it.
Yeah, that's a bad life decision right there.
All right. Speaking of bad decisions, let's get into our topics. It appears the Ubisoft store has leaked a placeholder image revealing presumably an EA-style access subscription service. As reported by VG247, they spotted the image briefly live on the Ubisoft store, and it appears to be a previously unannounced service called Ubisoft Pass. Although entirely unconfirmed, Ubisoft Pass certainly sounds like a subscription service. Additionally, the word premium leads to speculation that we may even see it a tiered service with different levels of access. This wouldn't be surprising considering Ubisoft typically launches its new game titles with a myriad of special editions. So my question to you guys, gentlemen, as we talk about this, would not necessarily Ubisoft, but are you interested in seeing EA-style access passes from developers that allow you to play their games for a yearly price instead of having to buy the games individually as they come out? Because before I open up the floor to you guys, obviously Microsoft is seeing some success with their Game Pass. So are we wanting to see this more, or two, how do you feel about the entire thing?
Nope.
Let's open the floor to Donnie.
I'm not a huge fan of any passes. I'm all for DLC because that's pretty dope. Only if it's pertaining to the story. I don't think these. Well, technically it is downloadable content, but I don't count accessories as. I'm not about to buy a pass for accessories.
No. What this talk about is like Ubisoft comes out and say they charge you $60 a year, and for the $60 a year, you're able to play Watch Dogs for free when it comes out. You're able to play the Assassin's Creed when it comes out. You're able to play the Division or Rabbids or Beyond Good and Evil. Whatever Ubisoft is coming out with that year, you're able to play that year's games for that $60, so you don't have to buy the games individually. This isn't like a pass for a game. This is a pass for all their games.
Oh, okay, my bad, but. Is it just for... Because I didn't read it yet. I didn't get around to reading it yet. But when I pay the $60, am I able to play their whole catalog for that year? Or is it just the games that's coming out that year?
Okay, we don't have much details about this, but assuming that it works like EA Access, you're able to play the games as they come out with... EA Access is up to 10 hours. It releases 10 days early for you to play, but you can only play 10 hours until the game officially launches. But then there's other games that they have decided to put into their back catalog. So I'm assuming that, next year if this comes out, you're going to be able to play the next Assassin's Creed when it comes out. But in the meantime, they're going to have Assassin's Creed 3, Assassin's Creed Black Flag in the back catalog, so you can actually play that as well.
Okay, so am I playing... So do I have access to the back catalog or access to a back catalog that they chose for me to have?
What they chose for you to have.
See, no.
Assuming that's the way this is working.
Nope. If I'm not paying $60 and I can't play whatever I want to play of your whole catalog, then no. To me, it's a waste of money. I still rather go with GameFly.
Damn,
right, Daryl?
GameFly's still around?
Yeah, dude, it's pretty solid too.
Don, you must be their only customer.
Nah, I'm not even with them right now.
Well, Daryl, what do you think about a developer pass?
Dude, I'll be honest. I'm kind of subscriptioned out personally because there's just so many. But I do think that there is a benefit to having them, and there's a benefit to them existing. I don't want that personally, but that's also coming from the guy who currently has Game Pass and who has a year subscription to PlayStation Now. So, you know what I'm saying? I use
What's the benefit?
The benefit of the developer passes and stuff like that. I mean, you think about it like this, right? Let's say you're the type of gamer who plays everything. And Ubisoft is your favorite. Use them as an example. Ubisoft is your favorite, publisher of all the games that they put out. Rather than paying $180 to whatever dollars a year for the 3 or 4 games they're gonna put out, you know what I'm saying? You pay for their pass. You have access to a back catalog, and you get to play some of their games. You know what I'm saying? For a Ubisoft fan, I'm sure
you just lost me. You just said some. You just lost me right there.
Oh, I mean, if
I was a buyer, just say that pass is your company that you're trying to start up, and I'm the buyer. When you just said some, you automatically lost me.
Well, then
you have to walk out the room.
Well, then it's not for you, and not everything has to be for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, if I'm paying a subscription for anything, I should have access to everything, not what you select for me.
I mean,
well, that's not really fair though, Donnie.
How is that not fair?
Because okay. The premise for the pass is them saying, okay, we know that you're going to buy at least one of our games this year. So, and that's going to cost you $60. So for that same $60, we're going to give you access to Assassin's Creed, Beyond Good and Evil 2, the next Watch Dogs, Just Dance, and whatever. Now, not all those games you may want to play, but they're basically guaranteeing that you're buying at least one game of theirs for the year, but giving you access to everything. Their back catalog, they don't have to give that to you. So whatever they decide to give you is a bonus. It's not, you're not paying the $60 to pay their back catalog. You're paying the $60 to play what they're releasing this year. The back catalog is just a bonus.
Well, no, but you're losing me as a buyer. Like, if I'm going to pay my $60, I want everything that falls in line. Like you said, yeah, I'm not going to play all their games, and then that $60 for the one game that I am most likely going to buy from you, that's well spent on my end. I don't see any issues with it, because I'm going to continue to play that game, because at the end of the year, I no longer have access to the game that I actually wanted to spend my $60 on.
Well, all right, hold on, Daryl. Before you go on, because I see you're about to talk, Alice, what do you think about all this?
I mean, I have no problem with these services. If these companies want to try to make some extra money and pull more people towards their products, I'm fine with that, as long as I have the choice to go and buy games piecemeal. I am really picky in what I buy. I don't buy a whole lot of games. I don't even buy a ton of Sony games anymore. So a subscription service like this, for me, doesn't make any sense, because I'm not buying enough games in order for it to make sense. So, I mean, I enjoy just buying the games I want, and I may buy a Ubisoft, like one Ubisoft game a year, or one every couple years. So I'm obviously not super interested in the products they're putting out, but for the people who are, it's a good deal for them. The only thing that sucks is I can understand where Donnie's coming from, where it's like, I'm paying this money in, why don't you make all these other games? Like, why can't I have access to these other games? So for me, like, just even hearing that it's what they choose for me, because, we read a list of the EA games off when EA Access was supposed to be coming to PlayStation 4, when we talked about that a couple weeks ago, and, like, I was like, no, I don't want to play any of that. So I can understand why Donnie is turned off by that, because I don't want to just let them, like, pay them money and then let them pick what I can play.
Well, think about it like this.
Right now,
go ahead, Donnie.
Yeah, Daryl.
Go ahead. Well, I was going to say Plus. Y'all know how I feel about Plus. Plus sounds significantly better than this.
Well, if you look at it like this, all subscription services have their positives and their negatives, and nothing stays on any subscription service forever. If you look at, we'll use GameFly as an example, because that's what you use. You pay a yearly premium or a monthly price, whichever way you decide to go, and you get 1 to 2 games a month, and you don't get access to their back catalog unless you return the ones that you have, and you ask for the other ones. So the point,
but I still got access though.
Well, you have access when you send the new one back. All right.
Well, that just makes sense though.
Right, it makes sense. It's the exact same thing. The difference is you feel like you're in control of what you get because they have such a vast library. All right, when Ubisoft launches, it's going to pick some stuff, and it will continue to add to it and continue to substitute from it, the same way Netflix does, the same way Hulu does, the same way DC Universe does, the same way Disney Plus is going to do it, the same way HBO does. I mean, all of these subscription services are basically the same. I would argue that the best subscription service out right now is PlayStation Now, because it doesn't get rid of the old stuff. It just keeps adding on and
it's
on. It's
and
got like
on.
780 something titles on there right now. I mean, it's ridiculous. And I paid $80 for the year. You know what I'm saying?
But that's whack. That's whack, because eventually, like you said, it's going to start deleting stuff because that's how it works. It don't have it. It's not deleting anything because it's not met. It hasn't met its capacity yet, and or it just don't have anything to take off yet. You got to add stuff. You got to constantly add stuff in order to replace stuff. So that now is well, I guess it's in the title. It's just for now.
You also got to figure
what we have now is what you get.
Well, you got to figure also that if they notice, like Sony has all the statistics on what games people are playing. If a game isn't being played all that much, or by very few people, or by no one, you got to figure they're going to take it down.
Exactly.
But
if that's true, yeah. But if that's true, then nobody's playing the game. Then who cares if it goes away?
True that, because no one's going to stream it. You're not going to pay for the bandwidth. So
right.
Ultimately, I mean, Donnie, you've definitely proven that this Ubisoft Premium Penis Pass is just not for you. You know what I'm saying? You're not their target demographic.
Really? You had to call it the Penis Pass? That's what he named it in the agenda for the listeners.
Yep. So I mean, that's the thing. It's for somebody. Is it for me? No. Is it for you? No. Sounds like it's not for anybody at this table. But I don't know, Tricky.
No, it's for me.
Yeah, I'm about to say you're the Ubi guy.
Well, everything
is
for us. Any and everything is for somebody. You got 7 billion plus people to play that. Somebody's going to like something. That's not what I'm saying.
The question that I posed at the beginning of this is, take Ubisoft out of this. Let's just talk about any particular developer, whether it be Ubisoft or whether it be Naughty Dog, whether it be Guerrilla Games, whatever it may be.
Same thing.
You know, should we start should these developers start looking at putting out passes for all their games?
Well, first of all, you can't do
because
one
this
for
way they're at
Guerrilla
least
Games,
guaranteed.
How many games a year does Guerrilla Games come out with? You'd have to do all of Sony.
Well, okay, maybe not Guerrilla Games, but my point being is if you have a developer that has a huge catalog or is releasing a game almost every year, you know, should developers do this? Because as I said before, if it, let's just arguably say it's $60, then they are guaranteeing that you're buying at least one of their games a year, which may just be profitable for them.
But that's not a guarantee you're going to buy at least one of their games every year.
Well, if you buy the pass, they're getting your $60. Do they care if you got the $60 because you bought Assassin's Creed, or do they care that they got $60? Period. The bottom line is all they care about is getting your money, and no matter how they get the money, they got your money.
True. To me, to answer your overall question, I say should no developer do this? No developer do this. Stick with the stuff like Plus and GameFly, stuff like that. When you have a catalog of every developer's game, not just a single developer, because a single developer is only putting out, like we said, 1, maybe 2 games, and you got people out here. You is a good example, Tricky, buying collector's editions of every game that comes out. They got your money no matter what. You just spent 5 games for that one game, so they're going to get you. That one developer got 5 subscription passes out of you from that one game anyway. So they going to get the money.
That'd be $300 and.
No, I'm just
okay.
I'm just saying, like,
I know what you're getting at, though.
No developer, in my opinion, no developer should do this. Stick with the people that's with the subscriptions that's got all the developers, so you have your abundance of selection.
I think. Hold on, real quick before we move on. I want to say that it kind of reminds me all these publishers wanting to do their own services. Reminds me of like Disney, because Disney's going to do their own streaming service, and it's like, God, I got to have a Hulu, I got to have a Netflix, I got to have a Disney streaming service. So it kind of reminds me of that, but I feel like it's not a bad idea. The problem is you have to make it worth it to more than just the hardcore Ubisoft fan or the hardcore Electronics Arts fan. And I think that's really hard to do, whereas PlayStation Plus or Xbox Games Pass, you have free content on sales from every publisher and every developer, and you've got other benefits besides that. But I think that for the individual publishers themselves to make it appealing to a lot of people is going to be difficult.
Well, I got good news for you, Alex. Hulu and Disney might just be merging because Disney just recently bought Hulu.
Oh, they did?
Well, they
see
bought
that.
they bought Fox. Fox had 30 some odd percent of Hulu, and then Disney had 10%. But so now they are the majority stakeholder in Hulu.
Yes.
Disney Plus is still
All
doing
right.
its own thing.
Well, no, I was just making a joke. I don't think they're actually going to merge. All right, moving on because we got a lot to go through. Donnie, you said you're playing some Mortal Kombat. Well, we have some DLC news. We finally got to see Shang Tsung in action, and also revealing that you're going to get early access to Shang Tsung if you bought the Combat Pass on June 18th, but it will introduce more fighters, including Nightwolf, Sindel, Spawn, and 2 more guest characters.
Is this the only pass? Because this sounds like it's going to be the only pass.
Well, I don't know. The last couple of games have had like 2 or 3 passes, I believe.
Yeah, I
The
know,
last
but
few
when
fighting
they
games
said-
in general have had multiple passes.
Yeah, but at the same time, Mortal Kombat only can bring on guest passes. I mean, guest characters now. They only have so many characters throughout the year. I mean,
Well, no,
throughout
they
throughout
have.
the
I think they
series.
said they have like 128 characters in the Mortal Kombat series.
Well, they said that also this
Yeah,
one's going to have the
but-
longest tail of all of them too. They're going to support this one longer than they've supported any of them.
Yeah, they said the same thing about the last one.
9.
It ain't happening. It ain't happening.
All right.
But I'm excited though. I wasn't gonna think about getting the pass this time around.
But Spawn, bro,
yeah.
freaking Spawn.
Well, they didn't say anything about Spawn, but depending on how they can work Spawn can be like a freakishly beast of a character. But I have seen Spawn in other fighting games, and I'm like, nah, that's not a selling
Yeah.
point for me.
You mean Soul Calibur 2?
Yeah, but they.
I think it was that, and I think I seen them in another game. I'm like, nah, they made Spawn.
Yeah, but that wasn't
so
NetherRealm,
bad.
Donnie. That wasn't NetherRealm.
True.
They do characters good.
True, but Shang Tsung already sold it for me anyway. Like, this is the coldest Shang Tsung has been in since he's been in the
This is
series.
the movie Shang Tsung,
And that too. I'm like, wait a minute, that look like old dude. I'm like, oh snap.
and they announced that the voice actor for Spawn in the comic, not the comic, but the cartoon.
Yeah.
The guy that does the voice in the cartoon is doing the voice in the game.
Bro, I'm reading through the Spawn comics right now, man. Them junks are sick.
Yeah, Spawn,
All right.
Spawn is a beast
Well,
of a character.
This is where Daryl's going to get an e-boner. Death Stranding has a release date, and it's this year.
Bro.
Death Stranding trailer has revealed the game's release date of November 8th, 2019, and it's now available for pre-order. There are 4 different versions of the game that can be purchased: the Standard Edition, the Special Edition, the Digital Deluxe Edition, and the Collector's Edition. They're all revealed on the PlayStation blog.
You forgot the 5 subscription pass edition.
Oh, jeez, Dottie. The Standard Edition, which is $60, includes the game, a series of pre-order bonuses, including gold Sam sunglasses, gold hat, gold speed skeleton, which increases the speed of your in-game movement, a gold armor plate, which offers increased damage protection. The Special Edition gets all that, plus you get a steel bookcase, a gold Luden's Mask sunglasslet. I think that's supposed to be sunglassless set earned through gameplay, the soundtrack, and a behind-the-scenes video. The digital deluxe version, which is $80, it's only available for download, obviously, because it's digital deluxe. Includes all the previously mentioned bonuses, plus a gold power skeleton, which enhances your ability to lift heavy cargo, a gold all-terrain skeleton, which enhances your ability to balance on uneven terrain, and a level 2 upgraded version of the gold armor plate. And finally, for those willing to splash out $200, Daryl,
That's you and
the
me,
collector's
baby.
edition adds a life-size BB, which is Bridge Baby, pod statue, a Bridges cargo case, and a Luden's keychain. Okay, all that. I watched this trailer and I still don't know what the fuck's going on.
Oh my god,
And
that
that's
trailer
what
was
I
so
was about
sick.
to say, I was going to say people may get mad at this, but I am not that intrigued with this.
I'm
game.
not at all either.
Yep.
It's a Hideo Kojima. I have
And that's
faith-
my boy right there.
Yeah, I have faith that it may be about something, but honestly, I haven't really cared about anything Hideo other than Metal Gear. and that's only solely based on the fact of I'm not a huge fan of robots. So that is it not Xenoblade, but what's the
Zone of the
is it
Enders.
Psychonauts? Zone of the End. Okay, yeah. I never played it or had any urges to play it because I'm not a fan of robots or Zords or Zoids or whatever you want to call them.
You don't like the
So-
Power Rangers, bro?
Well, I did the first
Sega
two-
Sword.
I did up until Zeo of the Rangers.
That's
But-
a long ways.
That's about it.
How the hell are we on Rangers right now? Let's get back to Death Stranded.
But yeah, I'm not that excited about this game.
All right, Daryl, you have bought the collector's edition. Why?
Oh man, I think it's sweet, dude. I think it's awesome. I'm excited about the game. I love the intrigue and the mystery around it. You know what I'm saying? Like the fact that Hideo is getting to be Hideo on such a grand scale. I think it's gonna be fantastic. PT was amazing. All the Metal Gear games are great. Even Metal Gear Survive, everybody
No,
can suck
they're
it.
awesome. They're not great. They're awesome.
But
Whoa, hold on. No, not all of them, because Survive was shit.
I just said
Yeah,
even,
okay.
even
minus
Metal
that
Gear
one,
Survive.
minus that one.
I just said even Metal Gear Survive, y'all can suck it. But yeah, it's dude. I mean, it's gonna be great, man. Like I'm telling you, like I just think that the game is going to be wild and it's gonna blow our minds. And even if it's not, I'm still so excited. The hype for me is pretty real.
All right.
I'm intrigued with wanting to know what the heck this is.
Alex, what do you think about all this Death Stranded
I mean,
stuff?
people have heard my thoughts on it. I think it's absurd that we heard about this game a couple years ago, and we still don't know exactly how it's going to all unfold. I mean, there is some intrigue and mystery in that, and there is something that will bring people to the game because of that. But also, you run the risk of people being like, "Why do I care about this game that I know nothing about?" I mean, if people are excited for it,
It's Hideo Kojima, man.
okay, that's fine.
Freaking Kojima.
Hey, if you like Kojima, go nuts, play it. I can't get hyped for a game that I don't know anything about, and quite frankly, Horizon Zero Dawn was one of those games I was hooked on when I first saw it. So it can happen where I kind of fall for a game very quickly, but this isn't one of those games. Like I tried to play the Metal Gear Solid collection, the HD collection, and I got about 5 minutes into each game and was like, nope, I can't do this. I can't play this game. So I understand the respect for Hideo Kojima. I just don't have the deep passion for his game making that a lot of people have. So hearing that this is a Hideo Kojima joint is not going to sway me at all. I'm like, oh, okay, that's great.
Well, I mean, if you
go
play,
to the podcasting corner and think about what you just said about Metal Gear, okay? You're tripping, man.
Hey, Donnie, have you played Metal Gear Survive lately?
Yes, that's. Here's the thing. I mean, if you only made it to the first few minutes and weren't jiving, it sounds like the controls or something silly like that didn't grab you because they're janky. The controls are janky. That was a different time and place, but the games are fantastic and they get absurd and they get wild and they get the stories are good and just the characters are awesome. It's one of those things where Kojima games are much better appreciated once you take them all in, and when you're done, you sit back and go, "Man, that's some sick stuff." I actually just went and got through recently playing through Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater on the Vita.
Second best.
Man, that's a good one. And so, and it took a while. Controls aren't great, but man, that's a fantastic game. I've got part 2 on my Vita now to be played once I get a little bit of time. So they're great games, man. Even 5 was really good. I didn't finish 5. 5 was pretty large. Lot.
Kojima didn't finish 5.
Well, that's the thing. Once all that came out, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't worried about not finishing 5.
Can I say this real quick? Is that I fear I hope it's not true. I just fear that Kojima is hoping this game will sell solely based off his name, and I have heard some other folks say that, like, "Hey, it's Kojima, I'm buying it anyway." And I believe what's name has just a little bit for the selling price. I mean, for the selling market as well. Daryl.
Norman Reedus.
And yeah. I don't know anything.
Well,
this person's real name. I go by the iconic Rose. The most
well,
iconic Rose.
Well, you also got Mads Mikkelsen and Guillermo del Toro in it.
Yeah, but it's more so. I believe it's more so Kojima, since Kojima's name is on it, and especially since he left, got the most infamous relationship with Konami now, and everybody is like, this is the Spielberg or the West the you know, the big name director, writer, movies version of the video game world. It was like, it doesn't have to have anything in a trailer to have your selling point. It's Kojima, so it's gonna, and I hope that's not the case. I really hope it's not the case. But unless I don't want the trailer to tell me the game. I just want the trailer to give me something to make me want this game.
I want the trailer to tell me what the hell I'm doing in the game. Because even in the article, it says the trailer gives us little to no information about what we're actually doing.
Oh, come on. We saw him punching. We saw him rolling. We saw him going to some weird dark world with lots of war.
But what are you doing? What is his motivation for walking across and taking a ladder from the ground to the moon?
We'll find out when you play it.
I'm about to say, what was Aloy's motivation for shooting bow and arrow at robot dinosaurs? They didn't tell you that in the trailer, but freaking
because it's
Horizon Dawn was
armor-piercing
awesome.
arrowheads. That's
because
why.
she was trying to find out who she was.
What was Kratos' motivation for standing up against a giant freaking snake that you didn't even fight? I mean, they didn't tell you that in God of War trailers. It was freaking awesome.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed. I was like, man, I'm going to get to fight this giant snake. Nope, no, I'm not.
All right. Let's move on because we got God of War spoils after this.
Yeah, well, I do want to, before Donnie banishes me to the corner forever, Donnie, do you remember that Tricky actually sent me his copy of the original Metal Gear Solid?
I vaguely remember something like that.
Yeah, I got to the end of the first disc, and Tricky sent me some broke-ass discs, so I couldn't finish the second disc.
Those discs work perfectly fine.
This is all Tricky's fault. Alex has been burned forever.
You could buy it. You know what? When the PlayStation 5 comes out, you can gift games. I'm going to gift you Metal Gear Solid.
And here's the thing, like, maybe it was the controls, but also, like, my stealth, like, I'm not a stealth guy. Like, I love, like, PS2 Kratos going in and just beating the shit out of everything.
Dude, yeah.
Sly Cooper is my stealth. Like, it's easy, like, not super hard, like, the kid's stealth, like, the kid's table stealth.
Yep,
That's what I'm into.
I'm right there with you, dude.
Baby
I'm
stealth.
terrible at stealth. I totally understand that.
Oh. All right, well, let's talk about stealth. We've had a stealth game that's been in stealth mode from its announcement to just recently, where we have some information about Square Enix's version of Avengers.
Dear God, Tricky, even with a good transition, you still managed to stumble through it.
I was just about to say, that was a long trip to get to a transition.
You've been practicing.
Marvel's Avengers will feature hero customization, single and multiplayer. As spotted by Evan Filarka on Twitter via PC Gamer, a since revised E3 Coliseum show listing has the game seemed to reveal elements of what's in store from the Crystal Dynamics game. The original description in full reads, quote, "Embrace your powers and join key members of the development team at Crystal Dynamics and the creative team at Marvel Games as they talk exclusively about the upcoming Marvel Avengers. This is the defining Avengers game experience, an epic action-adventure that combines cinematic storytelling with continuous single-player and cooperative gameplay. Moderated by Andrea Renee, assemble in teams up to 4 players, master extraordinary abilities, customize your heroes to fit your playstyle, and combine powers to defend an ever-expanding world under constant threat." End quote. So, we finally got some word. This kind of feels like it's going to be an MMO type thing, which kind of scares me a little bit.
Yep, don't care about it.
I mean, if there were a game that were set
really
up for a
hyped to see
perfect
this.
MMO, it would be an Avengers game. I mean, you saw how many people were in in-game, how many characters in in-game, so it's kind of perfectly fit for a MMO.
Yeah, but I don't want an MMO.
Then you don't need to play it.
Well,
Didn't we just have a discussion where
continuous...
it may not be for you, but it doesn't have to be for you?
No, what I'm saying is, this says it has cinematic storytelling with continuous single-player and cooperative gameplay, which sounds like a non-MMO. But the way they're saying I kind of got the feel that the way they're describing this is an MMO. I mean, we'll find out obviously when the game gets talked about and revealed, because their Square Enix's E3 conference is on Monday. So, and then the Coliseum panel is taking place on Tuesday. So we'll know next week.
But I mean, like, this is
more about
the
this.
Avengers is such a known franchise, especially with the MCU kind of unfurling before our, in front of our eyes for the last decade or so. That really, anyone could have written this description from just in 30 seconds. We really just need to see gameplay. I mean, until you see gameplay, the description's nice, but like I said, anybody could have written that based on stuff that basically is public knowledge. You don't really need to know all that much about the game, so what you really need to see is a video to see how it plays.
And Donnie, you sound like you're not interested in this at all.
Say it again.
You sound like you're not interested in this at all.
No, I'm not. I'm not interested. I'm not interested in any MMO nor RPG.
Okay, but if this is not an MMO, are you interested?
Nope, I'm not interested either.
What if this is X-Men Legends style, Donnie?
Bro, sign me up. X-Men Legends.
Don't care. The only RPG that I tolerate is Kingdom Hearts. That's the only RPG I tolerate. As far as this,
I think that's what's
Avengers
wrong
game,
with you, Donnie. I think that's your problem.
We finally 392 episodes. We finally got to the root of Donnie's problem.
Oh, you crybaby gamers! You ain't playing Mickey Mouse and Goofy with the Final Fantasy sword.
Exactly. Y'all highly underestimating the power of Mickey. No, but
hey, I got King Mickey for Disney Infinity, so.
Also, this seems like it is going to be a modern version of Alliance. And no, I didn't care for Alliance.
Sign me up then.
No, I didn't care for Alliance. I don't like that. And then a superhero game.
Do you like anything, Donnie?
I don't like anything.
I think we'd be better off if we just asked, what do you like? I don't like subscription passes. I don't like MMOs. I don't like Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
I don't like games anymore.
Wait, hold on.
All right.
Wait, Donnie said like a modern day Alliance, but isn't Marvel Ultimate Alliance coming out soon? Like 3?
It's coming to
Isn't
the
that coming out soon?
It's coming to the Switch.
It's coming exclusively to the Switch.
Hey, I got a Switch.
I seriously doubt you're going to get 2 games in the MCU gameverse that are going to be that similar. So it's going to be its own thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I remember seeing the trailer back when it first came out, how good it was done, and my hope was when I saw that trailer is that they were going to do an Avengers type game that plays like the rebooted Tomb Raiders. And if that's the case, and that's what we see, sign me up, take my money.
It's got to be something like that because that's the Crystal D team. So they're not just going to change their style.
I highly doubt you're going to get what you just said about a superhero game, period. And you know what? I ain't gonna say that.
I mean, we got Spider-Man.
I just about to say Spider-Man was a beast of a game, but also Spider-Man runs into that thing that I would like to see different in a superhero game. Is we know that these superheroes can do all this stuff. Why we have to unlock them?
All right. In the interest of time, we got to move on a little bit. We have 2 more topics on the agenda, but I'm just going to pass them by, but I'm going to mention what they are. Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the new one, is going to feature cross-play between the consoles, and there's not going to be a season pass.
Call of Duty.
Also, Darksiders 3, a new Darksiders game is confirmed for announced for E3, and they said it's going to be a major change to the franchise.
After the last one turned out, they better be making major changes. Go back to the way Darksiders 1 was.
Okay, so now we're gonna head into our topic of the week, and I'm going to put this. I'm gonna give the information, and I'm gonna step away for a second because I have to go kiss my daughter goodnight. It's past her bedtime. But the gaming disorder is officially recognized as a disease by the World Health Organization.
You white people come up with anything.
The World Health Organization has officially recognized gaming disorder as a disease as part of their 11th revision of the International Classification of Diseases and Related Health Problems, which will take effect on January 1st, 2022. As reported by VG247, the World Health Organization defines gaming disorder disease as a, quote, a pattern of gaming behavior, digital gaming or video gaming, characterized by impaired control over gaming, increasing priority given to gaming over other activities to the extent that gaming takes precedence over other interests and daily activities, and continuation or escalation of gaming despite the occurrence of negative consequences, end quote. For one to be diagnosed with gaming disorder, quote, the behavior pattern must be of sufficient severity to result in a significant impairment in personal, family, social, educational, occupational, or other important areas of functioning, and would normally have been evident for at least 12 months, end quote.
May I go
So
first?
with that being said, I'm going to turn this over to Alex first.
Okay.
I'm going to turn it over to
Because
Donnie
I want-
first because Donnie asked if he could go first.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't hear Donnie ask to go first. All right, Donnie, go ahead. I'm stepping away, so I'm actually not going to hear what you say. So I'll be back in like 2 minutes.
All right, boy, gloves off.
This thing right here. Well, can I just say duh for one? An addiction is an addiction. Okay, addiction is an addiction. It just nowadays, since gaming is becoming what it is, and it doesn't show any signs of fading away, is that we now have to just give it a name now. But an addiction is an addiction. What the heck, man?
I think it's funny.
Honestly,
I think it's funny.
I don't even know what to say, honestly.
I think it's funny is that daily we're having this argument over gender fluidity, whether you can be a boy, whether you can not be a boy, whether you can be something new. There's like 7,000 genders now, but like if you play games a lot, it's a disorder.
Exactly. There's nothing wrong with your mental mind when you born a boy, but you want to be a chimp.
The science says one thing, your feelings say another. Therefore, we got to cater to it. But by the way, if you play video games a lot and you'd rather play games than be around people, you have a disorder.
Exactly. You are a what they call that socialist or whatever. What is it called?
Donnie, I don't think that's the word you're. Are you looking for
I know it's not
sociopath?
socialist. I know it's not socialist, but yeah, that right there. That's what I was thinking of. You are that, but we can't say you're that because we already have a name for that. So we have to say gaming disorder now. That's like, come on, people. Like I just said, an addiction is an addiction. Now, and yes, I will even go as far as say most or all addictions are bad for you. Matter of fact, I'm going to go on to stay on the path of saying yes, all addictions are bad for you.
I'm addicted to water. That's not doing me any harm.
I'm addicted to loving my wife and kids.
Actually, if you do drink enough water, you will drown without being in a pool. So yes, it's bad for you. So
I should have known you would have turned that around on me.
I knew he would.
No, but I'm just saying, like every single thing on the planet has its benefits to something, as long as you do it in moderations or whatever that moderation is. You get people addicted to opium, but opium is a medicine. But if you take too much of it, you're going to be addicted to now opium.
What about crack? Can you do crack in moderation?
Crack helps with the other drug that you're addicted to.
I got you. So if I want to get away from my gaming disorder, I just need to hit the rocks a little bit, and I'm good.
Well, no, you don't want to do rocks because rocks would make that gaming disorder that much worse for you.
Or better, depending on who you're talking to.
Or depending on who you're talking to. But you guys get what I'm saying. Like, come on. It's just something else to be controversial. That's all this is.
I think that for years and years, and since as long as I can remember, people have been looking to blame games for all the ills of society and kids, what's wrong with kids and why adults lose their jobs and shit like that. I just think this is more of that. And I think that, yes, we have to learn moderation within our lives, within eating, within exercise, within playing video games. But I don't necessarily think we need to just, tie this kind of disclaimer to gaming because some people play too many games. I mean, shit, do all kids have this? Because, quite frankly, I know a lot of kids who would probably rather play video games than do schoolwork. I mean, or chores around the house. Like, does this affect them?
That's every kid.
They've all got disorders. Give them medicine. Give all the kids the pills.
Well, yeah, we tag disorder to so many things in our lives to try to explain things and certain behaviors and undesirable behaviors that we're just like, hey, give it medicine. Hey, this is a disease. We got to take care of it. So I just think it's more of video game blaming, and yes, we have to moderate, but at the same time, like, I don't think video games deserve a disorder tag because someone plays too much.
I agree, and I'm sure there's somebody out there who's addicted to, you know what I'm saying, the playing and the routines. I mean, there's some kids. I know some kids right now, friends of ours that. They get to act in certain ways when they play Fortnite. Like it's like it emotionally triggers things in them that like and when they get to playing, they don't want to stop. You know what I'm saying? Like it's that adrenaline rush from the battle royale. It's that I got one more round. That one more round, I can do it this time. You know, and like I get that there's stuff out there, and I'm sure if you have an addictive personality and stuff like that, it plays into it. But at the end of the day, man, it's like. Not everything is a disorder. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's just misbehavior.
Exactly.
All right, I'm back here. I just want to throw in my initial thought when I saw this a couple weeks ago that they were actually thinking about doing this was very simply, are they trying to change the narrative of what's going on by classifying it as a mental illness when you got parents out there that generally use TVs, tablets, video games as an electronic babysitter so they can keep their kid occupied.
Boom.
And then the kid, you know, as Daryl kind of like touched on a little bit, you know, they get that adrenaline of, hey, I'm doing good in Fortnite, and that's what they're trying to classify this as a mental disorder, but realistically, it's just bad parenting.
I think you're onto something.
Is that considered? Yeah, is that considered bad parenting disorder? Like,
oh no, we don't have that yet.
Is that a babysitting disorder? Like, me personally, I would rather play the TV versus watching the TV. Is that a disorder as well?
Well, I mean, listen, I'm not going to sit here and deny I've used the TV or used a video game to distract my daughter so I can get something done.
I'm doing it right now.
I mean, I don't think there's one parent that hasn't done that.
But that's not an issue. Like, you have to it's a kid. You have to distract the kid in order to get your grown up responsibilities done. So it's not. I don't even call it a babysitter. I just call it like, look, go. Get out my vision right now. I'm busy.
It used to be called it used to be called the go outside and play with your friends disorder. You know, it used to be.
There you go. Is that a disorder as well?
Go out. We're gonna lock the door. Don't come back until the street lights turn on.
That's what it was for me. It was if it's still bright outside, if it's not dark, don't come home disorder. Your curfew is when the street lights come on. How about the don't even come inside if you need water, drink out the hose disorder?
But I mean, okay, we're getting a little ridiculous here.
Close the door. I mean, your mama busy right now. Disorder.
That's the
okay.
Hey, go watch Netflix because Daddy's trying to spend time with Mama disorder.
Do some naked wrestling. All right, we're getting a little distracted
your
here.
mom trying to make the
but
hey, if you keep coming in here, I'm gonna have erectile disorder.
I'm trying.
You come here
I'm trying to.
One more game, I'm gonna have blue balls disorder.
All right, I'm trying to move on here, guys. The point is, Alex, I basically caught the end of what you were saying, but I mean, I don't. Anybody can be addicted to anything. Period. Fact. But you know, I don't think we need to classify gaming disorder as a major health issue.
If we calling this a disorder, can we claim just about everything a disorder?
Yep.
Donnie's hating everything disorder.
Dude, that's a disorder.
The crybaby gaming
The Donnie
disorder.
Babble disorder.
The Donnie Babble disorder.
The crybaby gamer
I
disorder.
can't stand the government disorder. You know,
Oh, taxation is theft disorder.
taxation is theft disorder. The government has an issue with stealing money from the people disorder.
There you go.
All right.
behind that
Okay. I went down a little bit in the article here, and it says prior to this decision, Microsoft also stated that quote the gaming industry needs to do more heavy lifting when it comes to responsible gaming, and after recent scrutiny over gaming addiction, loot boxes, and online safety. End quote. He then went on to say, quote, there are valid points for multiple sides of this debate, but I do agree with our industry position that clearly more research is needed here. I think what is painfully evident when you look at the set of research is that it's actually out there, and this was said by Dave McCarthy, the head of operations at Xbox.
Xbox
I have an
gaming
Xbox
disorder.
But I mean, again, this is ridiculous, right, man? Again, this is just another thing just to be controversial. That's all this is. This thing is not real. This article is not real.
The one
Fake
thing I
news
like about
disorder.
this article,
It's fake news disorder. It's just something to have something to be controversial. We need people talking about something. Here it is.
Yep.
this is the point that I find the funniest about this whole article. It was the first paragraph of the article. This disease, as official disease, will not take effect until January 1st, 2022. So you're talking a year and a half before they actually say this isn't officially a disease.
Look,
Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait. So you saying right now? I'm going way to the left field here. You saying if this thing was AIDS, I don't get AIDS until next year? What the heck, man?
I don't know to that extreme, but I'm going to read the first paragraph again. The World Health Organization has officially recognized gaming disorder as a disease as part of its 11th revision of the International Classification of Diseases and Related Health Problems, which will take effect on January 1st, 2022.
Bro, when you edit this show, the beginning of it needs to be, wait a second, you saying if this was AIDS, I don't have AIDS till 2022?
No, Tricky
Hey,
doesn't do
son.
that when he edits. Only I do that.
Oh, man.
Son, you have a disorder, but I can't tell you that right now.
For another year and a half.
I gotta tell you this later, but I'm letting you know you got it.
Oh, that's so
I know
funny.
you got it, but I don't know this until next year.
They got TV disorder out there. TV watching disorder.
Oh my God!
Book reading
Netflix
disorder.
Netflix
What the
and chill
freaking
disease.
heck?
Bro, like you got cancer, but I can't diagnose you for 2 more years. Let's hope you make it.
Exactly.
That's what I'm.
You're
If this is such a priority, why is this not a disease now?
Exactly. You got a dying disorder, but you cannot die until next year.
Oh.
You technically only have 3 more months to live, but since this disorder is not technically a disorder yet, you're not going to die until next year.
All right, let's go ahead and close out the show.
Let's clean this shit up.
We got a cleaning up disorder.
You know what? I'm looking at the housekeeping, and I see Daryl has done his due diligence and updated the agenda.
Keeping you
I should make
honest.
Daryl do the housekeeping.
Just keeping you honest, bro.
Daryl, I think you should do the housekeeping.
Keeping you honest.
I would, but I'm exercising my God of War disorder at the moment, and my hand.
Tricky has a disorder with honesty.
All right, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to do this as Daryl has updated the agenda.
There you go.
ProvenGamer.com is local for some writers, podcasts, videos, news reports, and generalized help with the site. If you're interested in applying, go to ProvenGamer.com, click on the Help Wanted tab, and fill out the application, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. While you're there, be sure to check out all the articles and all the videos. Speaking of videos, they can be found on YouTube by doing a search for Official Proven Gamer. Also, you can catch us streaming at twitch.tv/ProvenGamer, and you can sub to us for free, but we'll tell you how to do that later. If you're looking to get a hold of us, there are several ways to get a hold of us. The first one is our phone number. Daryl, what's the phone number?
330 proven 9.
What's the numbers?
GOD space OF space WAR.
Come on, man. You know he got a disorder with saying numbers.
God.
330-776-8369. You can also send us an email. Donnie, what's the email?
That is trophyhorse@provengamer.com.
See, Donnie hasn't been on the show in 2 years, and he still knows it's not trophyhorse@gmail.com.
It just miraculously, the agenda just happened to be right in that portion.
No, well, there was a time I took a week off, and Yield said the email was trophyhorse@gmail.com.
It goes to my Gmail account, so...
There you go.
Yeah, because I set it up that way.
See, Alex has a linking disorder.
You can get hold of us on Twitter. You contact the site at Proven Gamer. Contact the show at Trophy Wars. You contact me at Tricky Mick. Contact Alex at Sondersaurus Rex. Contact Yielded, I Yield to No One. Contact Steven at Batchild27. Contact Donnie at Young Twist. That's YUNTWIS. You can get a hold of Daryl at Resident Daryl.
Only on PSN currently.
What about Twitter?
I don't have a Twitter anymore. Every now and again, I'll pop on the Loot Bros Twitter and just kind of answer the business there. But that's for the most part, that's it. I don't Twitter too much.
Answer the business.
Yeah,
Troy messaged you all on the Loot Bros Twitter.
You see what I did there?
If you listen to this podcast, we greatly appreciate it. But be sure to go listen to
PG Spoilers.
Daryl has taken over PG Spoilers. And he's put it in the agenda. Best show on PG. New show posted and one in the can now.
That's correct.
Apparently, Daryl hasn't sent me the new one.
Well,
It's the only show that has PG in the title.
As technically replaces everything as the flagship show. So we're doing God of War Spoilers Part 2 tonight, and I've also got I got some stuff in the can recorded. I just haven't edited it yet.
Nintendo dual screens and game stuff, as Daryl puts it. It's like butt stuff, but for games.
The greatest tagline for any podcast.
I'm sorry, Kalai. All the podcasts can be found on Apple Podcasts, formerly iTunes, Stitcher, your various podcast applications on your smart devices, Google Play, TuneIn, and you can listen to Trophy Horse and Nintendo dual screens on iHeartRadio and Spotify. Also, worth noting, I didn't put this in the agenda, but I think it's something worth talking about. iTunes is officially being shut down by Apple.
Isn't that crazy?
So as we get the news of what's exactly happening, we will let you know if you need to update your Apple Podcast sub. I don't have information, but as soon as I have information and how it all affects all the shows, I will let you guys know. PlayStation 4 community. There's one for the site called Proven Gamer. There's one for the show called T-Dubs Brothel. Why, Daryl?
Because Shuhei won't let you say whores on the network. Or Hey Shu, his brother.
And there's the Platinum Guild, which has been popping off, and Yield needs to start doing monthly shout-outs instead of quarterly shout-outs.
I got a little something to say about the Platinum Guild. And I'm not trying to be critical.
Uh-oh.
I'm not trying to be critical, but I want to put a suggestion out there. Nowadays, there are so many 10-minute to 1 hour platinums that we call spam games. Like this whole once a quarter thing, you would have an hour worth of shout outs. If you have any trophy hunters, and I'm saying any of the current trophy hunters out there right now, if they're playing, they're stacking 6-8 stacks of these games. That's a tall order. I think we should all encourage you to bump that up to monthly.
Well, I know. Was it Trissa? Just posted a picture of getting 6 platinums in the same game, all back to back to back to back to back, and it's all in one picture.
Yep. See,
God dang chumping disorder.
All right, so that is the end of our sponsors, our housekeeping. But we do have some sponsors. Let's test Daryl and Donnie. Donnie, you want to be tested first, or you want me to test Daryl first?
Sure, I'm always up for a challenge because I got a disorder for challenges.
But I say you get tested now, but your results aren't final for 2 more years.
Donnie, tell us about Extra Life.
shoot, it's a play. You play for these kids who got disorders, and no.
Oh no. But they have the real ones that are actually like scientifically proven and all that stuff, and diagnosed.
The ones that are actually officially listed right now.
Yeah, they don't have to wait a whole year and a half.
All right. Hey, all seriousness, Dottie, tell us about Extra Life.
Extra Life is a 24-hour game-a-thon where you play games and you earn. Well, you hope to get donations for playing these games for the kids that are sick, for the
Children's Miracle Network.
Forget the network.
Children's Miracle Network.
Children's Miracle Network. And it's awesome. You love video gaming because you have a disorder. It's already been said. So turn that disorder into funds to help these kids with real disorders. So.
And how do they sign up, Donnie?
You sign up by going to Extra Life.
Extra hyphen.
That's important. Life.
Life.org.
Not com. Org. You go there, sign up, and you could sign up to be a solo participant, or you could join a group and help them collectively.
What group should they join, Donnie?
You should join Whatever Talk, but I don't recommend it. and I'm the leader of Whatever Talk. I don't recommend it, but you should join them. But join Proven Gamer.
There you go.
Yeah, they seem to be making money because Whatever Talk ain't.
Alex, how do you do? Because I know that's normally your segment.
Whatever.
All right, Daryl, tell us about Amazon.
Amazon.
There you
go to provengamer.com. Click on.
But you got to pay me now.
See, it's a copyright disorder. Sorry.
This is going to be our ongoing joke all through spoilers tonight.
So if you go to provengamer.com, click on the Amazon links, do your shopping as per usual, and Amazon kicks a little piece back to the show. I think in the description, did I edit that one, or is that one still legit? No, that one's legit. Either way, you get a little piece back to the site, and it helps out a lot.
All right. I'm not going to ask you about Twitch Prime because I see what you put at the end of that. Alex, tell us about Patreon.
Shit, I don't know. You usually do that.
This is why I'm challenging you guys.
I mean, if you want to support us on Patreon, which after what I just said, why would you? But if you want to support us on Patreon, you can go to patreon.com/provengamer. You can decide which tier you want to support us on. Now, you're supporting the entire website, not just Trophy Whores. Although, Tricky, can they choose to just support Trophy Whores, or is it all just the website?
Well, I'm going to restructure the Patreon so you can individually support each podcast, but there is still going to be a tier to support the entire site.
So based on how much you support us, it's a tiered system, so you get different rewards for meeting certain requirements. CJ Anderson, one of our patrons, he came onto the show. I think he... sorry, I was going to say his contribution on the air, but probably shouldn't do that. But yeah, he came onto the show, and that's one of the tiers is you... put a certain support the show at a certain amount, and you get to come on the show. There are all different kinds of tiers that Tricky set up, so you can go on the website and look at them. And yeah, even if you can't support us with money, best thing to do is go review us. If you can review us on anywhere any host that you get us from, or just word of mouth, let people know about the show.
Review us on iTunes before it closes down, and the reviews are lost forever.
You know that's gonna suck. Okay, so I think you guys did a good job with that. Humble Bundle. Go to humblebundle.com/provengamer. They always are doing some wonderful bundles. Let's go see. I should have this always prepared when I
while you're doing that, the last bundles that they were running had some really good stuff on there, not just for gaming but for software. So there's usually multiple bundles. Some of them are comic books, ebooks, things like that. But the last sale they had, or the Humble Bundle they had, was for $25. You could get like 9 pieces of software. Some of them was like Sony Vegas or Vegas. I think it's just what it's called now.
Well, actually, that's actually still going on for another day.
Yeah.
So by the time the listeners hear this, this will be over. But for $1, you can get Fast Cut Plus Premium and a voucher code for Producer Planet. If you pay an average of $22.97, you get SoundForge and Vegas Movie Studio 15. And if you pay $25 or more, you get everything I just mentioned, plus Vegas Pro 15, Vegas DVD, and Hit Film Movie Essentials.
That's awesome software, man. You got video and audio editing software for less than $25. That's fantastic.
Which, if anybody knows about Adobe Premiere Pro, that's like, what, $700?
Yeah, it's crazy. If you do the Adobe package, it's upwards of $1,200 a year, which I have currently, and it's a lot.
And there is a game bundle, but I'm not going to go through it right now because it's going to expire. But I do encourage everybody go check out these bundles because they do reset weekly. It generally resets Monday nights. So Tuesday is a new bundle. So the day before you hear this, just be aware that you should go check out Humble Bundle because it's always great deals. This particular one, your purchases are going to support One Up on Cancer, Stack Up, and a charity of your choice, which we hope you would choose Extra Life for that. All right, so that is it. Other than Twitch Prime, if you're Amazon Prime, you're also Twitch Prime. Link up your accounts. Go to twitch.tv/Proving Gamer, and you can sub for free. It doesn't cost you anything else, and I will remind you every month to renew because you have to renew. And as Daryl puts in the agenda, no, I'm not going to read that. Daryl, your shout out, sir.
Shout out to you nerds for letting me on tonight and doing the PG spoilers with us. Shout out to CJ, one of the guests that has joined the show recently, who has his own trophy hunting show called Push to Plat. It is a super deep dive into trophy hunting down to the disorder side of it. And I mean that, actually, this time it's not a joke. Like, the links that trophy hunters will go to get these little digital rewards that just some of the crap we'll do, play and stuff like that. They do a deep dive. It's awesome. Shout out to my co-host Basehead Hex on PG Spoilers and my cousin I Drop Roaches, who's been joining us and doing the shows. You guys, if you don't mind, check out PG Spoilers. I know for years it was kind of the running gag on Trophy Whores, whether there will or won't be a show. And we've busted out several shows in the past couple of months. And we've done some solo shows. We're experimenting with a bunch of stuff. We cover games sometimes, but we've been doing Netflix specials, some movies, TV shows, comic books. I mean, we did.
I'm really pissed you didn't invite me to the happy one.
Well, you know, like Donnie's pissed because I didn't invite him to any of them, but he doesn't like anything, so it's hard to know what he does and doesn't want.
That's true. Always need your quota black.
Oh, dang it.
Oh, see, you had to go racial with it.
I have an affirmative action disorder, so that's what happened. I messed up.
All right.
Did you messed up?
But yeah.
Dottie, your shout out, sir.
I want to give a shout out to the listeners. You know, the listeners is always the important people because without y'all, we just be talking to ourselves.
Whatever.
But that ain't stop us.
Yeah. Didn't stop us for the first 120 episodes.
Just conversating with each other, like we get nowhere like that. No, but also give a shout out to Trophy Whores. You know, you're doing it. You're about to be on the road to 400. That's awesome. Shout out to the loot, and shout out to whatever talk. Even though we on a hiatus.
You do know the loot doesn't exist anymore, right?
You say it again.
You know the loot doesn't exist anymore, right?
It's being rebranded.
Yeah, I do know. Yeah, it's
for the third time.
The same with whatever talk. It's being rebranded.
Third time's a charm, right?
You two should just team up and do a show called Whatever Loot.
We had the Proven Rejects for a while, and that was pretty solid.
That's gonna always be there, whether it's a show or not.
Yeah. Alex, your shout outs. Alex,
Alice always dipping out.
Before he jumps on here and does his shout-outs, I want to point something out. Last week's episode, I believe it was, he was like busting your balls hard about the wrestling stuff. And he was like, this is a gaming podcast. Stop talking about wrestling. He's like, until it's a Game of Thrones podcast, when that's okay. I thought that was pretty funny.
Alice, you back yet?
Hey, he forfeited his shout-outs. I tell you what, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna shout out for Alex.
Go ahead.
I want to give the listeners a shout out for being the fuel to the fire that is Trophy Horrors. I want to give a shout out to Daryl, being the best returning guest we've ever had. I want to give a shout out to Donnie, my colored brother from another mother, who is the best trophy whore that ever left and continued to come back.
That's right, Alex. That's right.
I want to give a shout out to Tricky for being just the best website owner and operator there is. Because Tricky, I know I bust your balls every week, but I just want you to know I really look up to you. I just think you're great. And also, I want to give a shout out to my my sweet girlfriend, what's her name again? Ashley, because she just makes me feel so good about myself, and I just love playing the Nintendo Switch.
Whoa, that's just the disorder talking right now.
All right, I'm going to leave that in the show, but I'm going to tell Alex that he has to do shout-outs, and I'll patch his real shout-outs in. But I have to say, Daryl, that was pretty damn accurate.
I'm a regular. I listen to the show pretty often, so.
I'm an Alice connoisseur.
I got a Alessandrosaurus disorder.
At least you listen. Donnie just recently revealed to me that he hasn't listened to the show since Troy left.
I thought you knew that by the. I thought you knew that by the one rating that you wasn't getting.
No. I want to give a shout out to Sweet Mama D. Give a shout out to the goddess who is waiting to cook me dinner, but she doesn't realize she's gonna have to wait another 2 hours because we have another show to record. Shout out to all the listeners, and if there's nothing else, until next week, happy trophy hunting.
Peace out.
Holla, 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 holla.
Take your last words, then read all me this. Save your last words. Save your last words, then read all me this. Save your last words, then read all me this. Save your last words, then read all me this. Save your last words, then read all me this.
The theme song is Venus by the band Even off their album Zenith. Permission granted by the band and 12 Stone Records. You can find them on Facebook by going to www.facebook.com/evenphilippines.